Long ago, in a quiet village in Africa, there lived a young girl named Amara. She was about 14 years old, full of curiosity, and always asking questions. Amara was not like other children in the village. While most children listened to their parents and elders without argument, Amara often wanted to know why. If someone said, "Don't do this," she would ask, "But why not?" In Amara's village, there was one rule every child knew by heart: never whistle at night. The elders repeated it often. Mothers warned their children. Fathers warned their sons. Even older brothers and sisters reminded the younger ones. It was like a song passed from one generation to another. Everyone knew it, and everyone respected it. They believed that whistling at night was dangerous. They said the sound of a whistle after dark did not just float into the air, it traveled into the world of unseen spirits. It was like sending an invitation to something you could not see or understand. Some said whistling at night would call snakes out of hiding. Others said it would wake up wandering ghosts. The oldest people in the village whispered that demons of the night followed whistles, looking for the person who made the sound. No matter the version, everyone agreed. Whistling after dark was trouble, but Amara, she was different. She did not believe such things. She thought it was only an old story created to make children sleep early. Many times she told herself, "It is just a sound. How can a whistle call spirits?" The curiosity. One evening, when the moon was high and bright, Amara sat outside her family's hut. The night was peaceful. The air was cool. She could hear crickets singing and the distant sound of drums from another village. Her grandmother, who sat beside her, told her once again, "Amara, remember, never whistle at night." Amara rolled her eyes. "But Grandma, why? It's only air passing through the mouth. Nothing will happen." Her grandmother shook her head slowly. "Child, you ask too many questions. There are things you don't understand. The night has its owners. Respect them." Amara kept quiet, but deep inside she thought, "One day, I will prove that nothing is wrong with whistling at night." That day came sooner than she expected. The first whistle. Late that night, when everyone else had gone to bed, Amara could not sleep. The moon was shining so brightly that the whole village seemed awake even though it was past midnight. She sat up on her mat, looked around, and whispered to herself, "Today, I will try. Just one small whistle. Nothing will happen." Quietly, she tiptoed out of the hut and sat outside under the moonlight. The air was so silent she could hear her own heartbeat. She took a deep breath and whistled softly. The sound was clear and sharp. It echoed a little in the quiet night. She waited. Nothing happened. She laughed quietly. "See? Just like I thought. Nothing is there." Feeling bold, she whistled again, this time louder. Suddenly, the night changed. The wind that had been blowing stopped. The crickets that had been singing went silent. The trees that had been swaying became still. It was as if the whole world was holding its breath. Amara frowned. "Strange," she whispered. Then it came. From the far distance, she heard another whistle. It was faint, but it was there. Amara froze. Her body felt cold. Maybe it's another person, she thought. But deep in her heart, she knew no one else would be outside at this hour. The answer. She swallowed hard. "Maybe I imagined it," she said to herself. To prove her courage, she whistled again. Very loudly this time. The reply came immediately. This time, it was closer. Amara's heart began to pound in her chest. Her hands shook. She tried to stand up, but her legs felt heavy, as if the ground was holding her down. Again, the whistle came. But it wasn't just one, 2, 3, 4 whistles answered her. Some high, some low, some long, some short. They were all around her. The night was no longer silent. It was alive with unseen voices, calling back to her. Amara wanted to scream, but when she opened her mouth, no sound came out. It was as if her voice had been stolen. She covered her mouth with her hands, her eyes wide with fear. The spirits. From the edge of the forest, shadows began to move. Slowly, figures stepped into the moonlight. At first, Amara thought they were people, but when she looked closely, she saw they were not human. Their shapes were tall and thin, bending in strange ways. Their eyes glowed like fireflies. Their steps made no sound. They were spirits. They moved toward her slowly, whistling in strange tones. The sound was cold and haunting. Amara shook her head and tried to run, but her legs refused to move. She felt like she was trapped in a bad dream. One of the spirits came very close. It leaned toward her ear and whispered, "You called us, and now we are here." Her heart almost stopped. She tried to shout for her mother, but still no voice came. The spirits circled around her, whistling softly, their glowing eyes fixed on her. Then everything went black. The morning after, when the sun rose the next morning, villagers woke up to begin their daily work. But something was wrong. They found Amara sitting outside her hut. Her eyes were wide open. She was breathing, but she did not speak. Her mother rushed to her. "Amara, what happened? Why are you sitting here?" But Amara said nothing. Her grandmother came forward, tears in her eyes. She looked at the girl, then at the other villagers, and said softly, "She whistled at night." The villagers gasped. Some shook their heads. Others whispered in fear. From that day on, Amara never spoke again. Her voice was gone, taken by the spirits she had called. Children in the village grew up with fear in their hearts. Whenever they thought of whistling after dark, they remembered Amara's empty eyes and silent lips. And so the warning grew stronger. Never whistle at night, for the night has ears, and those who answer are not human. Moral of the story. The story of Amara became a lesson passed from one generation to another. It taught children that sometimes rules are not just rules, they are protection. It reminded them that curiosity, when mixed with disobedience, can bring danger. Whether the spirits were real or just a story, the people of the village never questioned the rule again. And the girl who whistled at night remained a silent reminder of what happens when you call things you cannot control.